your thoughts in about this. How happy are you with Zubimendi? Do you think he's a good signing? Let me know your thoughts on the player down below as well. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, Ornstein coming out and saying today that Martin Zubimendi in London to meet Arsenal officials and complete formalities of transfer to the Emirates Stadium. 26-year-old Spanish international midfielder joins from Real Sociedad in Alon deal since, Sociedad in Dillon since regarded at AFC as done plus signed. So there we go, people. Officially, yeah, he's in London. No doubt we'll get Arsenal fans like the FBI, tracking the flight, tracking the plane, tracking the sky. I remember when we signed Gabriel, and our fans are literally tracking the sky to make out he's in London, tracking the car and all that. People tracking the number plate. You know what Arsenal fans are like when it comes to this. When it comes to transfers and these signings, yeah, they're going to be tracking everything, people. So the like FBI settings, but yeah, looking like he is actually going to be getting done. I know we had a little bit. I wouldn't say a concern, to be honest with you, but you had all the Spanish rumors from Marca, Real Madrid's sort of outlets coming out and saying that he's going to change his mind, and even Zubimendi himself came out and said that obviously he admires Xabi Alonso. He's a big fan of Xabi Alonso, and he's an idol of him. And people was like, "Oh, why is he saying this about Real Madrid? He could go Real Madrid, but obviously that's not going to happen." Yeah, he's always going to come to Arsenal. It's still done in January, people. And overall, I'm very happy with the signing. Very happy. I think this is going to be a very good signing. What I've seen of him as well in the recent sort of games, I watched him in when Spain played Nations League. He played very, very well. So, we're going to talk about him a bit later on in terms of look at more in depth to him and what he can bring to Arsenal. But I think overall, this deal was done in January. This deal was done in, of course, it's been about a done deal for 4 times now, hasn't it? Finally, it's getting formalized. Finally, he's in London. And finally, we're going to finally see the guy holding up the shirt, probably number 5. He's his shirt number, guys, coming in for Arsenal's new midfielder. So yeah, very, very happy with the signing, people. Now, if we quickly, if I go back to this, in terms of how the fee sort of is going, and what the sort of deal is overall, as you know, he had a release clause. Arsenal will pay Sociedad slightly more than a 60 million euro release clause to sign Martin Zubimendi. The agreement has struck has enabled Arsenal to pay the fee over a number of installments rather than in one go. As we know, Arsenal have to do these installments instead of paying it in one go, which I think, I mean, we've spent more than his actual release clause for him, but at the same time, it's to balance the books, as they call it. But that is how much it's cost to Zubimendi. That's how much his price is, 60 million euros, which I think, how much is that in pounds? Hold on, 60 mil in pounds, 51 million. But as it says there, we're gonna pay a bit more than him anyway. So there we go. But overall, I'm very happy with the signing, people. Very happy. As I said, watched him a little bit for Spain when he played Nations League, and he looked so sort of controlled, so composed on the ball. Yeah, he didn't really put a foot wrong. So we're gonna talk more about it in a minute, guys. But get your thoughts in about this, people. Zubimendi to Arsenal. He's doing his medical, going to the Emirates to hold the shirt up as well. We can finally get the midfield signing in. So yeah, honestly, this is up signing. I know it's done in January, and it's been a long wait, hasn't it? But this is the type of signing that we should be signing these types of players, man. And he looks a very, very good player. And at the end of the day, he's going to come in. I could see us playing maybe a double pivot next season. I don't know. As we know, Rice probably will still stay number 8. But Zubi obviously will come into that number 6. But I can honestly see Arsenal playing sort of like the double pivot, having Declan Rice and Zubi in the double pivot, and then just Odegaard hopefully having that more freedom to get more on the ball a lot more, to create more chances. I think that's the main thing that we need to get with Odegaard, because last season he was absolutely awful. Let's just be straight with it. Is it because of the way how he was playing last season? If Odegaard's more advanced next season, he's going to get more chances, more space. When we have Zubimendi and Rice behind him, maybe we can see a different Odegaard. I mean, we have to, don't we? But yeah, overall, very, very happy with this deal, guys. So him as a player, then, like for me, when I look into him, I think there's a lot of positives with Zubimendi as a player. I think he likes the ball a lot, like in terms of touches, in terms of getting on the ball, playing, and he's very composed at doing that. What I noticed of him, very calm, composed. He's going to be technically gifted as well because he's a Spanish baller. Most Spanish midfielders are technically gifted, but he's very, very composed on the ball. Very, very sort of, not, he doesn't really shy away. That doesn't hide, doesn't really go missing, does he? And he does the fundamentals really well. And also, just not take that aside, but defensively as well. I saw the other day that in terms of aerially, like we know Arteta is trying to build a team about 6 foot NBA players, it seems like, right? But in terms of aerially, he's got one of the best sort of aerial attributes in terms of winning the most aerial duels out of any other midfielder. I saw that. I think that's correct. Especially last season. So very, very good in the air, and he does the sort of like, what's the word, the work that no one really wants to do, that defensive work. He does that really well. He reads the game really well. Very, very good in terms of his sort of like game intelligence, how he reads the game. And I think overall, man, like the only thing I'd say with this and what people have been saying is physicality side of things. Is he going to be physical enough to adapt to Premier League? I don't think that's going to be a problem. I feel like you can, we've seen players come to Premier League, like Kante, for example. We had it with Lucas Torreira. Like Torreira's like 5'5", Kante's 5'5", 5'6". Yeah, these players weren't physically strong, but they had the other attributes to sort of get them out of that, if that makes sense. Being technically on the ball, if they can read the game really well, you don't really have to be too physical. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue with Zubimendi. I think he's proven himself already on the big stage that he can perform, that he can step up as well. And if I quickly want to share this as well, this is him compared to Declan Rice last season. Now, you've got to keep in mind, of course, Zubi was playing number 6, and Declan Rice obviously was playing more advanced, more number 8 role. So, this is, I know that they play different roles, but still, they're going to be playing alongside each other next season. So I thought, let's just see, compare both of these. And you can see here, Rice is going to create more chances. Again, you got to look. He's in a much better team than Tojda, with all due respect there. You can see Zubimendi, again, in terms of on the ball, loves, you can see like the pass completion there. He's completing more passes than Rice did last season. So he loves to get on the ball, Zubimendi. He loves to, in terms of like the touches as well on the ball. Pass accuracy there, Rice is a bit more better. Forward passes, again, this, 6 more than Rice, which is always a good sign as a 6 as well. And I've noticed this with him. He always tries to break the lines, and he sometimes, in terms of ball carrying as well, he loves to get the ball, drive forward of it. So that's what we love to see. Even have a number 6 as well. Take-ons there is a bit, they're pretty similar. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I said today, what I saw the other day, people, with the aerial duels, right? He's got one of the highest sort of aerial ability out of any other midfielder in sort of, I think, in Europe, which is mad. So you can see here 1.7 compared to 1.1 there. So aerially, it's a good sign. He's very, very good in the air. Ground duels there as well. I said he loves to get stuck in, man. This is how I play that we need, people. Loves to get stuck in. Does the dirty work really well. Defensive ability, gets back and not afraid to put a foot in. That's what we need. And you can see the recoveries there. Declan Rice obviously has more there as well. So, yeah, it's interesting to see. Obviously, one plays left 8 and one plays number 6. One's in a much better players around them. Arsenal are better than, obviously, Sociedad. But some good signs there, man. Some really, really good signs with Zubimendi coming in. I think this is a very, very good signing. And it's definitely one that I sit there and say, do you know what? I'm excited for Zubimendi. I think when it first got announced in January, I was like, you know what, this is the big signing. It's just about getting it announced now. It's about actually getting it done and actually getting it over the line, people. So yeah, for me, I think this is actually a very, very good signing, people. Of course, that midfield would have been perfect for me. Would have kept Partey. Partey going for me is a big blow. I would have kept Partey, give him another year, maybe another year to extend these contracts as well after that. But having the depth of Partey, Rice, Zubimendi, and then you got Odegaard, you got Wanyeri can play there. Mika Marino, we know can play there, even though he's for me better as a striker. To be fair, Max Diamond coming through, and then adding in another attacking midfielder like a Morgan Rogers or like an Eze, that midfield would have been perfect. But now Partey's going, even with Zubimendi coming into the team, we still have to go and get, for me, another two midfielders in my opinion, because you got to look at the attacking midfielder, whether that's going to be Morgan Rogers, whether that's going to be Eze, Jari Simmons. Like, there's plenty out there. We're gonna have to, for me, bring one of those in. But then also, now Partey's leaving and Jorginho's left as well. You're gonna have to replace Partey, and we're looking at that Sevilla player, Aguame, the Frenchman. I don't know a lot about the guy, man. I'll be honest with it. I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans gas this guy up, get a bit giddy over him as always. But we're being honest with it. Has anyone actually sat there and watched a full game of Sevilla? They probably haven't, to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind Aguame coming in. I think he's young. The price they're talking about as well is reasonable, 20 million to come in and be part of the depth. I'm taking him in that sense. But in terms of, I'm not really getting over the top how people gassing this guy up. I think the deal's good, this Aguame guy, but people really getting this guy, in terms of gassing this guy up, I don't think so just yet. I said this yesterday when we did the show with Seb. The one I would want Arsenal to go and sign in terms of like replacements for Thomas Partey, for me, has got to be Baleba. Baleba for me from Brighton. Had a very good season in the Premier League last season. Knows the league very well. And looks a baller, doesn't he? So for me, I think Baleba for me would be my shout in terms of a Thomas Partey replacement to come in next season. Have Baleba, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard. You got hopefully that new midfielder coming in, and maybe that's Eze, Morgan Rogers coming in as well. And then you have Wanyeri can play there. You have Max Diamond who can play there as well. So yeah, I think Partey's going for me is a big blow. But as long as we obviously go out there and replace him, that's what that matters really. I think overall was Mendy guys very, very happy with this deal. Very, very good player. As I said, I've seen him a handful of times. I'm not going to lie to you that I've watched him week in, week out, and it'd be interesting to see how he's going to going to adapt to the Premier League. Physicality wise, that's a big question, but I think having him in there alongside Declan Rice, maybe we could go with a double pivot, people. Maybe we could go with a double pivot just to allow Odegaard a bit more space, to have a bit more freedom going forward, because you look at how we were playing last year, you had Rice in the 8, you had, Partey sort of sitting back, and then you had Odegaard again playing a bit more deeper than he usually would do. I feel like having the double pivot with Rice and Zubimendi, we're going to allow Odegaard to push forward a lot more, bit more space in front of him. I think one of the big things we've been saying with Odegaard is this guy needs to shoot more, man. This guy needs to have the confidence to actually shoot. How many times Odegaard getting these positions and he just messes it up all the time, and he's not got that confidence to and every time he does shoot, he actually, he causes some chances. I don't know what happened there. He causes some problems, man. Like, you think about PSG when he hit the bar, you think about Liverpool when he almost scored, didn't he, as well? Like, when he actually gets in these positions, advanced positions, and he actually has the ability and the confidence to actually shoot, he actually causes some problems, people. So hopefully Zubimendi will allow that. And we know what I've seen with him, even as a 6, he can break the lines really well. And he also looks good in terms of gets the ball, progresses it forward. Ball in terms of like his ball carrying is superb. It's absolutely, it looks really good. And he does the other attributes as well, getting stuck in the defensive work really well. So I think overall, again, not even when he gets the ball as well, and we know how we want to play out from the back. Even when Zubimendi does get the ball, he doesn't